Hello, everyone. Welcome to English Podcast Motivation. I'm really happy you are here with us today. If you are learning English and sometimes feel shy when speaking, this episode is for you. Many learners understand English very well. They read English, they listen to podcasts, they watch videos. But when it is time to speak, something happens. The mind becomes quiet, the words disappear, and the confidence goes down.
Yes, that sounds very familiar. Sometimes I know the words in my head, but when I want to say them, my mouth just refuses to cooperate.
That is actually very common. Shyness in English is not about intelligence. It is not about grammar knowledge. Most of the time, it is about emotion.
Emotion?
Yes, when we speak another language, we become more aware of ourselves. We worry about mistakes. We worry about pronunciation. We worry about what people think. And all of those worries create pressure.
I think I know that feeling. Sometimes when someone speaks to me in English, I feel like they are watching every word I say.
That feeling is very normal. But the truth is, most people are not judging you. Most people are simply trying to communicate.
That's interesting, because in my head it feels like everyone is analyzing my grammar.
Many learners think that way. But let's imagine a simple situation. You walk into a small coffee shop. You want to order a drink. The barista asks you, "What would you like?" At that moment, your brain may say, "Don't make a mistake. Speak perfectly. Don't sound strange."
Yes, that sounds exactly like my brain.
But the truth is, the barista only wants to know one thing. What drink do you want?
So the goal is communication, not perfection.
Exactly. Communication is the goal. Perfection is not necessary.
That makes me feel a little better already.
Good. Now let's talk about why shyness appears when speaking English. One big reason is fear of mistakes.
Yes, mistakes are scary.
But mistakes are actually part of learning. Think about when children learn their first language. They make many mistakes, but nobody tells them to stop speaking. Instead, people smile and help them.
That's true. No one expects a child to speak perfectly.
Exactly. So why do we expect ourselves to speak perfectly in a new language?
That's a good question.
Another reason for shyness is lack of speaking practice. Many learners spend years reading and listening, but they speak very little.
I think that happens to many people. They study grammar, they watch English videos, but they don't talk.
Yes, speaking is like a muscle. If you don't use it, it feels weak.
So confidence comes from practice.
Practice and small success moments.
What do you mean by small success moments?
Moments when you speak English and communication works. Maybe you ask a question. Maybe you order food. Maybe you introduce yourself. When the conversation goes well, your brain learns something important.
What does it learn?
It learns that speaking English is safe.
Ah, that makes sense.
Now, let's talk about a real-life situation many learners experience. Imagine you are at work. A colleague from another country starts talking to you in English.
That situation already makes me nervous.
Let's imagine the conversation. Your colleague says, "Hi, how was your weekend?"
That seems like a simple question, but sometimes simple questions feel difficult.
Yes, because the brain is busy worrying. But the answer can be very simple. For example, "My weekend was good. I stayed home and watched a movie."
That actually sounds easy.
Exactly. English conversations do not need complex sentences. Simple sentences are powerful.
I think many learners believe they must sound advanced.
That is a common misunderstanding. Clear communication is more important than advanced vocabulary.
So even a short answer is okay.
Of course, Let's practice together. Imagine someone asks you, "What do you like to do in your free time?"
Okay. In my free time, I like watching movies. I also enjoy listening to podcasts, and sometimes I go for a walk in the evening.
That sounds very natural.
It actually feels easier when I don't try to sound perfect.
That is the key, natural communication.
I think many listeners will feel the same way.
Yes, and if you are listening right now, I want you to remember something. Shyness is not a permanent problem. It is just a stage in the learning journey.
So it can change?
Absolutely. And in many real-life situations, a small sentence can start a meaningful conversation.
Can we talk about more situations, like when meeting new people or traveling?
Of course, because those situations are exactly where many learners feel the most shy. And when we learn simple ways to speak in those moments, confidence begins to grow naturally. When we learn simple ways to speak in those moments, confidence begins to grow naturally. Because confidence does not appear suddenly, it grows slowly through real conversations.
I like that idea. Confidence is something we build, not something we wait for.
Exactly. And one of the best ways to build confidence is through familiar situations. Let's imagine a situation many listeners experience: travel. When people travel, they often need to speak English at airports, in hotels, in restaurants.
Airports can feel stressful already. Adding English speaking pressure makes it even harder.
That's true. But the good news is that airport conversations are usually very predictable.
Predictable?
Yes, people often ask the same types of questions. For example, where are you flying today?
That question seems simple.
And the answer can be simple too. I'm flying to Singapore, or I'm flying to London.
Short and clear.
Exactly. Another common question is, how many bags are you checking in?
Oh yes, I've heard that question before.
You can answer, I have 1 bag, or I have 2 bags.
I noticed something. These answers are very simple sentences.
Yes, simple language is very powerful in real life. Many learners believe they must create long sentences, but short sentences are often more natural.
That makes speaking less stressful.
Exactly. Now let's imagine another travel situation. You arrive at a hotel. The receptionist says, "Welcome. Do you have a reservation?"
Okay, let me try to answer. Yes, I have a reservation under the name Eric.
Perfect. Very natural. Then the receptionist might ask, "How many nights will you stay?"
I will stay for 3 nights.
Excellent.
When we practice slowly like this, it feels very manageable.
That's the secret. Practice in small steps. Your brain becomes familiar with these conversations.
So when the real situation happens, it doesn't feel new.
Exactly. Now let's talk about another emotional challenge: when you don't understand something.
Oh yes, that can feel embarrassing.
Many learners feel shy to say, "I don't understand," but actually that sentence is very normal.
So it's okay to say it.
Of course, you can say, "Sorry, could you repeat that?"
That sounds polite.
Another helpful sentence is, "Could you speak a little slower?"
I like that one.
You can also say, "I'm still learning English."
That explains the situation honestly.
Yes, and most people respond kindly when they hear that.
I think many learners imagine negative reactions.
That's true, but real conversations are usually more supportive.
So honesty can reduce pressure.
Exactly. Now let's practice a small role-play conversation. Imagine you are meeting someone at a small event. I will start the conversation.
Okay, I'm ready.
Hi, I don't think we've met before. I'm Cade.
Nice to meet you, Cade. I'm Eric.
Nice to meet you too, Eric. So what do you do?
I work in digital marketing. I help companies with online promotion.
That sounds interesting. How long have you been working in that field?
About 3 years. I started after finishing university.
Do you enjoy it?
Yes, I do.
I like creative work, and I also enjoy learning about technology.
That's great.
See, that conversation actually feels natural.
Yes. And notice something important. Nobody used complicated vocabulary.
Everything was simple and clear.
Exactly. Simple English can create meaningful conversations.
I think many learners will feel relieved hearing that.
I hope so, because language learning should feel encouraging, not stressful.
There's another moment that makes people shy.
What moment?
When there is silence in a conversation.
Ah, yes. Silence can feel uncomfortable.
Sometimes I start worrying when the conversation becomes quiet.
But actually, silence is normal in conversations.
Really?
Yes, even native speakers experience pauses.
That makes me feel better.
And if you want to restart a conversation, you can ask another simple question. For example, have you seen any good movies recently?
That's a fun question.
Or you could say, what do you usually do on weekends?
That opens many possible answers.
Exactly. Open questions create longer conversations.
What is an open question?
An open question cannot be answered with just yes or no.
Ah, I see.
For example, do you like coffee? That is a closed question.
Because the answer can be yes or no.
Right. But if you ask, what kind of coffee do you like?
Then the person will probably explain more.
Exactly. And longer answers create better conversations.
This is very helpful for shy speakers.
Yes, because questions give you control in conversations.
Instead of worrying about speaking a lot, you guide the conversation.
Exactly. And slowly, your comfort grows.
I can already imagine listeners practicing these questions.
That would be wonderful, because speaking confidence grows through real use.
Not just studying.
Yes, using the language, making small mistakes, learning through experience.
That sounds like a much healthier way to learn.
It truly is, and something very interesting happens when learners keep practicing. Little by little, the fear begins to fade.
And speaking starts to feel natural.
Yes, and there's a moment many learners experience. A moment when they suddenly realize something surprising.
What moment?
The moment when they notice they are having a conversation in English without feeling shy anymore.
That sounds like a wonderful moment.
It really is. And in our final part, we will explore how to reach that moment more often. We will practice longer conversations, and we will talk about how shy learners can slowly transform into confident English speakers. And we will talk about how shy learners can slowly transform into confident English speakers. Because confidence in English does not appear suddenly. It grows from small moments. Moments when you try, moments when you speak, moments when communication works.
I like that idea. Confidence is built from experience.
Exactly. And every learner has a moment when they realize something important. They realize that speaking English is not about being perfect. It is about connecting with people.
That changes the way we think about conversations.
It does. When the goal becomes connection, speaking feels lighter. The pressure becomes smaller.
I think many shy learners feel pressure to sound intelligent.
Yes, that is very common. But intelligence in conversation is not about big words. It is about clarity. It is about kindness. And it is about listening.
Listening is interesting. Sometimes we focus so much on speaking that we forget listening is part of communication.
That is a very important point. Good conversations are balanced. One person speaks, the other person listens. Then the roles change.
So conversation is like a rhythm.
Exactly. And when you listen carefully, you often find your next sentence naturally.
Because the other person gives you ideas to respond to.
Yes. For example, imagine someone says, I started learning photography last year.
Then I could ask, oh, what kind of photos do you like to take?
Perfect.
Or I could say, that sounds interesting. What made you start photography?
Excellent question. That feels more natural than trying to prepare long speeches. Exactly. Real conversations are not speeches, they are exchanges.
That idea makes speaking feel more relaxed.
Now let's imagine a longer, real-life situation. You are meeting a new colleague at work. Let's practice a conversation together.
Okay, I'm ready.
Hi, I heard you just joined the team last week. How has your first week been?
It has been good so far. Everyone has been very friendly. I'm still learning how everything works.
That's normal during the first week. Where did you work before this job?
I worked at a small company before. It was a different environment, but I learned a lot there.
What kind of work did you do?
I worked in customer support. I helped clients solve problems with their accounts.
That must have required good communication skills.
Yes, it did. Sometimes it was challenging, but I enjoyed helping people.
That experience will probably help you in this job too.
I hope so, and I'm excited to learn new things here.
See how natural that conversation feels?
Yes, it feels like a normal conversation between two people.
Exactly. And remember, conversations do not need to be long to be meaningful. Even short exchanges help build confidence.
I remember something that used to happen to me.
What happened?
Sometimes after a conversation, I would think about my mistakes again and again.
That is very common.
I would think, I should have said that sentence differently.
Many learners experience that feeling, but it is important to be kind to yourself.
Why is that important?
Because language learning is a long journey. If we criticize ourselves too much, we lose motivation.
That makes sense.
Instead of focusing on mistakes, try focusing on progress.
Progress?
Yes, maybe today you spoke one sentence more than yesterday. Maybe today you asked one question in English.
Those small steps matter.
They matter a lot. Small steps create big change over time.
I think that message is very encouraging for shy learners.
I hope so, because many confident speakers today were once shy learners too.
That's very inspiring.
They simply continued practicing, little by little, conversation by conversation.
I have another question.
Go ahead.
What should someone do if they feel nervous before speaking English?
That is a great question. One helpful technique is breathing slowly.
Breathing?
Yes, take a slow breath, relax your shoulders, and remind yourself that communication is the goal.
That sounds calming.
Another helpful idea is preparation.
Preparation?
Yes, think about a few simple questions you can ask people. For example, where are you from? What do you like to do in your free time?
Those questions can start many conversations.
Exactly. And when you have a few questions ready, you feel more confident.
That removes some uncertainty.
Yes, confidence often comes from preparation.
I also think practice helps a lot.
Absolutely. You can practice speaking in many ways.
Like what?
You can speak while walking. You can describe your day out loud. You can repeat sentences from podcasts.
That sounds like good daily practice.
It is. And every minute of speaking helps your brain become more comfortable with English.
I think something special happens when learners reach a certain point.
What do you mean?
At first, speaking English feels scary, but later it starts feeling exciting.
Yes, that transformation happens slowly.
From fear to curiosity.
Exactly. Instead of worrying about mistakes, learners start wondering, what conversation will I have today?
That sounds like a wonderful stage of learning.
It truly is. And if you are listening right now and you feel shy speaking English, remember this. Every confident English speaker once started exactly where you are.
That's a very comforting thought.
You are not behind. You are not incapable. You are simply learning.
And learning takes time.
Yes, but with patience and practice, your confidence will grow.
I feel more motivated after this conversation.
I'm very glad to hear that.
And I think our listeners will feel the same way.
Before we finish today, let's give our listeners one small speaking challenge.
That sounds fun.
Today, try to ask one simple question in English. It could be online, it could be at work, it could be with a friend.
Just one question.
Yes, something simple like, how was your day?
Or what are you working on today?
Exactly. Small conversations build big confidence.
And the more we try, the easier it becomes.
That's right. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today.
We really appreciate you listening.
If you enjoyed this episode, keep practicing your English with us. Little by little, day by day, your confidence will grow.
And remember, every conversation is progress.
Take care, everyone. Keep learning, keep speaking, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself.
We'll see you again soon. Bye, everyone.